Welcome to Clay's Country Radio's Artist Showcase Special tonight, broadcasting live from Noonan, Georgia, with your host, Robert Big Daddy Moore, and featuring our very own, our very good friend, and a very hard-working man, by the way, Mr. Ed Gary, singer and actor extraordinaire, coming from Peoria, Arizona. Kicking the thing off is a song made famous by Eddie Arnold, written by the fabulous songwriter Hank Cochran. This is Make the World Go Away by Mr. Ed Gary.
Make the world go away and get it off my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. Do you remember when you loved me before the world took me astray? If you do, then forgive me and make the world go away. Make the world go away and get it off my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I'll make it a day by day. Just say you still love me and make the world go away. Make the world go away and get off my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away.
Great song there from Mr. Ed Gary, Make the World Go Away. Can you beat that? I don't think so. That guy's got an awesome voice. And he's had a very storied career, too, by the way. He started young. Ed was born Edward Gary Holcomb from my home state of Memphis, Tennessee. And I was also born in Memphis, by the way, Gary. Ed. Born in October 14th, 1945, so he's one of us old farts. He's been around music all of his life. He was brought up in gospel music and started singing in the church, I'm sure, and age of 3 is what it says. Learned how to play the guitar at 9, was singing weekly on a radio show by age 10. How's that? Anyhow, we want to welcome everybody that's listening to the show. I hope I don't mess this thing up too bad for Mr. Gary. He is one of our staunchest supporters of Clay's Country Radio. He's been in here many times, and we play his music quite a bit. It stays on the charts all the time, so we hope you enjoy it. We've got a lot of his music lined up, and a surprise at the end that nobody knows yet but me and Clay. But the next song I've got lined up is another song made famous by Eddie Arnold. This is called Full-Time Job, Mr. Ed Gary. Y'all give it a listen.
I want a full-time job. a full-time job holding hands with you. I think I'd like it too. Don't need a part-time job or a full-time job, but a part-time job will do. As long as you would let me get in a little bit of overtime. I want a full-time job holding hands with you. I think I kinda like it too. Don't need a part-time job, I want a full-time job, but a part-time job will do.
And that is Full-Time Job by our good pal, Mr. Ed Gary from Peoria, Arizona. And welcome, everybody, and welcome to the Armed Services Radio Network, who's broadcasting the show to all the gang, all of our men and women in the military all around the world. We appreciate y'all tuned in and listening. We hope you're enjoying the show as well. We've got a lot of great country music coming your way. Here's one from Ed that was, it was a surprise to me when I heard it at first, because this song was recorded at first by a lady. Her name was Billy Joe Spears, and y'all know it. Written by Roger Bowling, and the song is Blanket on the Ground. Here's Mr. Ed Gary with
Come and look out through the window. That big old moon is shining down. Tell me now, don't it remind you of the blanket on the ground? Remember back when love first found us, with us slipping out of town. We'd love beneath the moonlight, on a blanket on the ground. I'll get the blanket from the bedroom, and we'll go walking once again to that spot down by the river, where our sweet love first began. Just because we are married don't mean we can't slip around. So let's walk out through the moonlight and lay a blanket on the ground. Oh, remember how excited we used to get when love was young. That old moon was our best buddy. We couldn't wait for night to come. Now you know you still excite me, and you love me like I am. Just once more I wish you'd hold me on a blanket on the ground. I'll get the blanket from the bedroom, and we'll go walking once again to that spot down by the river, where our sweet love first began. can't slip around. So let's walk out through the moonlight and lay the blanket on the ground.
Mr. Ed Gary with Blanket on the Ground. And coming up, we've got another fantastic song. This one was written by Carl Smith, Carl Story, and Shirley Lynn. And it was recorded by Mickey Gilley in 1974. This is I Overlooked an Orchid by Mr. Ed Gary.
The orchid is a flower that blooms so tenderly to thrill the fairest lady of the land. If placed beside a blushing rose, the rose could not compare. But how was such as I to understand? For I overlooked an orchid while searching for a rose. The orchid that I overlooked was you. The rose that I was searching for has proved to be untrue. The orchid now I find, my dear, was you. The rose has lost its color, but the orchid stays the same. And I'm alone to face these lonely years. I didn't see the orchid, I was searching for a rose. And now I'll pay the price in bitter tears. For I overlooked an orchid while searching for a rose. The orchid that I overlooked was you. The rose that I was searching for has proved to be untrue. The orchid now I find, my dear, was you.
Overlooked an Orchid, that's Mr. Ed Gary. And before we play the next song, we'll tell you a bit more about Ed. After Ed moved to Nashville, he was 17 years old when he recorded his first recording, Blackboard of My Heart and Am I That Easy to Forget? And he realized that he was going to have a long career in the music because he loves country music. And then in the 1980, he met his longtime music producer, John Fisherman Fisher. And in the last part of the 80s and early 90s would produce Ed's music for a Player International label where Ed got 3 #1 hits. The only problem, it was all in Europe. It settled around the top 30 here in the United States. And then his producer, John, suffered a major stroke in 1993, and Ed was out of a producer again, but did release a TV album for CMI in early 93. So there's a little bit more information about this. And this guy is busy. Let me tell you, he has been headliner for a bunch of, frontliner for a bunch of groups. Some of the crowd rousers he's been in front of was Ernest Tubb, Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, David Houston, Ronnie Milsap, Bill Anderson, Roy Acuff, little Jimmy Dickens, and on and on and on. So many artists that he has went up and started their show for him, and done a bunch of TV shows too. Was on the Ralph Emery Show, Jerry Lewis Telethon, Grand Ole Opry, the Ozark Opry, many others. We'll be giving you some information later on about Ed's upcoming Opry tour that he does every year out in the Southwest of all the Opries out there. So we'll be giving you a heads up on that here in just a few minutes after this song. Here's one. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. This is He'll Have to Go. This was done by Jim Reeves. It was written by Joe Allison and Audrey Allison, and it was released in 1959. So here is Mr. Ed Gary's version of He'll Have to Go.
Your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low, and you can tell your friend there with you, you'll have to go. Whisper to me, tell me, do you love me true? Or is he holding you the way I do? Though love is blind, make up your mind, I've got to know. Should I hang up, or will you tell him he'll have to go? You can't say the words I wanted you while you lived another man. Do you want me? Answer yes or no. Darling, I will understand. Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I will tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low, and you can tell your friend there with you, he'll have to go.
Mr. Ed Gary with his cover of He'll Have to Go. And coming up is another great song. This is called Country Is, and y'all give this a listen. This guy is just fantastic. He can sing anything.
Country is sitting on the back porch, listening to the whippoorwill late in the day. Country is minding your business, helping a stranger if he comes your way. Country is living in the city, knowing your people, knowing your kind. Country is watch you make it. Country is all in your mind. Country is working for a living, thinking your own thoughts, loving your town. Country is teaching your children country is walking in the moonlight. Country is all in your heart.
Ed Gary with Country Is. And if you just joined us, you're listening to Clay's Country Radio's Artist Showcase Special, tonight broadcasting live from Noonan, Georgia, with your host, Robert the Big Daddy Moore. And we have our featured artist, Mr. Ed Gary, in the room. And everybody say hello to Mr. Ed Gary. And we've got another one lined up. Here is one that made Willie Nelson famous. This was his first big songwriting song that he made famous with Fair and Young recording it. It's Hello Walls. I'll get it spit out here in a minute. This is Ed Gary with Hello Walls.
Hello, wall. How things go for you today? Don't you miss her? Since she upped and walked away, and I'll bet you dread to spend another lonely night with me. Lonely walls, I'll keep you company. Hello, Wanda. Well, I see that you're still here. Aren't you lonely? Since our darling disappeared. Well, look here, is that a teardrop in the corner of your pain? Now don't you try to tell me that it's rain. She went away and left us all alone. The way she planned, yes, we'll have to learn to get along without her if we can. Hello, ceiling. I'm gonna stare at you for a while. You know I can't sleep, so won't you bear with me a while? We must all stick together, or else I'll lose my mind. I've got a feeling she'll be gone a long, long time.
Ed Gary with the song that made Willie Nelson a household name as a songwriter, Hello Walls. And welcome everybody again back to the show, and a special shout out to the Armed Forces Radio Network broadcasting over there, and we hope all you guys stay safe and get back home real soon, and we hope you're enjoying the show. Here's Ed Gary with 4 in the Morning.
It's 4 in the morning, and once more the dawn just woke up, the warning in me. Wishing I'd never met her, knowing if I'd forget her, how much better off she would be. woke up this morning, I woke up, and for the 10th time I'm changing my mind. I saw more love in her eyes when I loved her than most foolish men will ever see. But it's 4 in the morning, and once more the dawning just woke up the warning in me. It's 4 in the morning, and once more the dawning just woke up the warning in me.
And that was a song written by Jerry Chestnut, recorded and released in 1971 by Fair and Young, made famous by him, and done a lot better in my book by Mr. Ed Gary. And it's one of my favorite Fair and Young songs, by the way. There's so much to tell about this guy. If you just had a list of all the movies this guy's been in, I'm just going to name a couple here. Smokey and the Bandit, Coal Miner's Daughter, Away We Go, Blood Moon Rising, King Scott, Locker 13, Red Corvette, Fallen Blue Police Detective, or Fallen Blue, and I Am Ghost. And this goes on and on and on. 51 films so far. Oh, man. This guy is sure enough busy. Here's another song that it really epitomizes the old farts and jackasses. This is The Wild Side of Life of Mr. Ed Gary.
My letter if I wrote you. You asked me not to call you on the phone, but there's something I'm wanting to tell you. So I wrote it in the words of this song. Honky-tonk angels. I might have known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one that ever loved you, and went back to the white side of life. Flow where you wait to be anybody's baby and forget the truest love you'll ever know. I didn't know God made honky-tonk angels. Known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one that ever loved you, and went back to the wild side of life.
Mr. Ed Gary with The Wild Side of Life. We want to say howdy to all the men and women in the military that's listening tonight on the Armed Forces Radio Network. We hope you're having a great night. I hope you're enjoying the music. And be safe, guys. Hurry up, get on back over here. Here's another classic by Mr. Ed Gary, Walk On By.
If I see you tomorrow on some street in town, pardon me if I don't say hello. Just walk on by, wait on the corner. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet. Just walk on by, wait on the corner. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet. In a dimly lit corner at a place outside of town, tonight we'll try to say goodbye again. But I know it's not over. I'll call tomorrow night. I can't let you go, so why pretend? Just walk on by, wait on the corner. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet. Just walk on by, wait on the corner. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet.
That was Ed Gary with Walk On By. If you're just joining us or joined us late, this is a special edition of the Clay's Country Radio's Artist Showcase Special, coming to you live from Noonan, Georgia, with your host, Robert Big Daddy Moore. We hope you're enjoying the show. The next one I got lined up, I think, is Mr. Clay's, one of Mr. Clay's favorite. This is called The Lord Knows I'm Drinking by Mr. Ed Gary.
Hello, Mrs. Johnson, you self-righteous woman, Sunday school teacher. What brings you out slumming? Do you reckon the preacher would approve where you are? Standing here visiting with a backsliding Christian in a neighborhood bar. Well, yes, that's my bottle, and yes, that's my glass, and I see her eyeballing this pretty young lass. It ain't none of your business, but yes, she's with me, and we don't need no sermon, you self-righteous woman, just let us be. I'm drinking, and running around, and he don't need your loudmouth informing the town. The Lord knows I'm sinning, and sinning ain't right, but me and the good Lord gonna have us a good talk later tonight. Goodbye, Mrs. Johnson, you self-righteous Biddy. I don't need your preaching, and I don't need your pity. So go back to whatever you hypocrites do. And when I talk to heaven, be nice and I'll put in a good word for you. I'm drinking, and running around, and he don't need your loudmouth informing the town. The Lord knows I'm sinning, and sinning ain't right, but me and the good Lord gonna have us a good talk later tonight.
I guess he told you, Miss Johnson. The Lord knows I'm sinning and running around. That's Mr. Ed Gary. Coming up right after this message, we have Mr. Ed Gary with Strangers. The show is being brought to you in part by CNR Music Promotions. For all of your promotional needs, flyers, banners, CD covers, and web design, see the staff at CNR Music Promotion. Any genre, country, pop, gospel, or rap, they can help. Go to the link on clayscountry.com or find them on Facebook. Type in CNR Music Promotion. You'll love what they can do for you. See y'all on the radio.
Promised would be mine forever. I would have bet my bottom dollar on. Well, it sure turned out to be a short forever. Just once I turned my back and you were gone. From now on, all my friends are gonna be strangers. I'm all through ever trusting anyone. The only thing I can count on now are my fingers. I was a fool believing in you, and now you are gone. It amazes me not knowing any better than to think I had a love that would be true. Well, I should be taken out, tarred and feathered, to have let myself be taken in by you. From now on, all my friends are gonna be strangers. I'm all through ever trusting anyone. The only thing I can count on now are my fingers. I was a fool believing in you, and now you are gone.
Mr. Ed Gary with Strangers. And before I go to the next song, I just want to tell you about some of the places that Mr. Gary is going to be performing at here in the next month or so. At Prescott Opry in Prescott, Arizona is on March 11th. March 15th at the Fayette County Country Opry in LaGrange, Texas. And 416 at the Flag City Opry in Edna, Texas. At 418, the Bluebonnet Opry in Brenham, Texas. And 419, the Alvin Opry in Alvin, Texas. And at 423, the Crossroads Country Opry in Victoria, Texas. And 426, the Hometown Opry in Pasadena, Texas. And then finally that month, 428, Pearland Cowboy Church in Pearland, Texas. And I'm sure that Mr. Gary will have those sites posted. If you're out in the southwest part of the country and you get a chance to hear this feller, you won't go wrong, I guarantee you that. Here's Mr. Ed Gary with San Antonio Rose.
Within my heart lies a melody, a song of old San Antonio, where dreams I live with a memory beneath the stars all alone. Well, it was there I found beside the Alamo enchantment strange as it blew up above, a moonlit path that only she would know. Still hears my broken song of love. Moon in all your splendor, know only my heart. Call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own. Broken song, empty words I know, still live in my heart all alone. For that moonlit path beside the Alamo, and rose, my rose of San Antone. Splendor, known only my heart. Call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals fall apart. Speak once again of my love, my own. Broken song, empty words I know, still live in my heart all alone. For that moonlit path beside the Alamo, and rose, my rose of San Antone.
Mr. Ed Gary with an old Bob Wills classic, San Antonio Road. And here comes Ed Gary with Old Dog, Children, and Watermelon Wine. This is from the storyteller Tom T. Hall. Right after this song, I've got a surprise for y'all, and you're going to love it, I guarantee you. Here's Ed Gary with Old Dog, Children, and Watermelon Wine.
How old do you think I am, he said. I said, well, I don't know. He said, I turned 65 about 11 months ago. I was sitting in Miami, pouring blended whiskey down, when this old gray black gentleman was cleaning up the lounge. There wasn't anyone around except this old man and me. The guy who ran the bar was watching Ironside on TV. Uninvited, he sat down and opened up his mind on old dogs and children and watermelon wine. Ever had a drink of watermelon wine on TV? Uninvited, he sat down and opened up his mind on old dogs and children and watermelon wine. Ever had a drink of watermelon wine? He asked. He told me all about it, though I didn't answer back. Ain't but three things in this world that's worth a solitary dime: but old dogs and children and watermelon wine. He said women think about themselves when menfolk ain't around, and friends pals are hard to find when they discover that you're down. He said, I've tried them all when I was young and in my natural prime. Now it's old dogs and children and watermelon wine. Old dogs care about you even when you make mistakes. God bless little children while they're still too young to hate. When he moved away, I found my pen and copied down that line about old dogs and children and watermelon wine. Catch a plane up to Atlanta that next day. As I left for my room, I saw him picking up my chain. That night I dreamed in peaceful sleep of shady summertime, of old dogs and children and watermelon wine.
Old Dog, Children, and Watermelon Wine, a great old Tom T song. That was our good friend Mr. Ed Gary with his version of it. Appreciate y'all listening to the show tonight, and appreciate all the guys and gals over in the Armed Forces Radio Network that's tuned in listening. And if Clay had us throw this on me earlier, I probably would have run for the hills, because I didn't know nothing about it until right before the show started. He's thrown this on me, and I guess that's why I'm all tongue-tied and everything. But anyway, I promised y'all a surprise, and I'm going to give it to you in just a second. I want to tell you about a few more shows that are coming up. And this is a few shows in May. That May 2nd in Refugio County Opry in Refugio, Texas. The Lone Star Opry in Giddings, Texas. Gathering Time, Geronimo, Texas. Prescott Opry in Prescott, Arizona. And the CASA Center in Prescott, Arizona in the month of May. So, and I'm sure that Ed will post that schedule where y'all can find it. Post a link somewhere where y'all can find it. If you're in that area, you better not miss that show, because that guy can really do some singing. I can guarantee you that. All right, here's the surprise. Ed's been holding out on us, and I'm sure he's got a bunch more music that we haven't got a hold of yet. Up to now, we've just been playing covers. But now you're going to hear Mr. Ed Gary with 4 originals back to back to back to back. And they're all great. I listened to them this afternoon. These are some fantastic songs. And I'm sort of ill with Mr. Gary because he's holding out on us. Here he is, Ed Gary, with She Don't Love Me All the Time.
Stands at the kitchen sink. News is on, it's almost 10:15. She's been on her feet all day. Only once did she sit down to eat. Here I lie on the sofa, watching as she cleans up after me. You'd never think to look at her, she could ever find the time to cheat. With her hands in dirty water and her mind on a crosstown motel room, what's going on inside her mind. She loves me more than anything. She just don't love me all the time. She loves me more than anything. She just don't love me all the time. She'll take all I've got to give. What I've got to give ain't on her mind. I know I'll never leave her. It's easier pretending to be blind. She loves me more than anything. She just don't love me all the time. It ain't that she wants to leave, but now and then she needs somebody else. She'll be back home by 5 o'clock. You know she hardly thinks about herself. She'll tell me she went shopping, but she didn't find a thing she should buy. She loves me more than anything. She just don't love me all the time. She loves me more than anything. She just don't love me all the time.
Mr. Ed Gary with She Don't Love Me All the Time. That is an original song by him, and I've got 3 more coming your way. Here is You're That Someone Else by Mr. Ed Gary.
If you ever change your mind, want me back again, and to forgive all the times you made me cry, what will I do if I should have somebody else but them? Tell me how to tell that someone else goodbye. How do you walk away and leave them crying, and just break a heart without reason why? What will I do if I should have somebody else but them? Tell me how to tell that someone else goodbye. Just break a heart without a reason why. What will I do if I should have somebody else with me? Tell me how to tell that someone else goodbye. You're that someone else I'll have to tell goodbye. Without a reason why. What will I do if I should have somebody else with me? Tell me how to tell that someone else goodbye. You're that someone else I'll have to tell goodbye. Heart without a reason why. What will I do if I should have somebody else with me? Tell me how to tell that someone else goodbye. You're that someone else I'll have to tell goodbye. I've been traveling all night long to be here once again, and I know that you'll look just as good as you did back then. You said our love was over, but I could never face the end, so I just came back to break my heart again. Just came back to break my heart again. After being your lover, it's hard to be just friends. I know I should know better, that it's useless to pretend. So I just came back to break my heart again. I was hoping this would be the last of heartaches that I'd spend. I can see you feel no different, 'cause there's no changes in the wind. You just can't change the way you feel, and my hurting just won't mend. So I just came back to break my heart again. I just came back to break my heart again. After being your lover, it's hard to be just friends. I know I should know better, that it's useless to pretend. So I just came back to break my heart again. Just came back to break my heart. I just came back to break my heart. I just came back to break my heart again.
I just came back to break my heart again. That's Mr. Ed Gary. And I told you, I listened to all four of these songs this afternoon, and I picked out my favorite, and I saved it for last. But before I play it, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Clay's Country Radio and enjoying the show. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. And a special shout out goes to the Armed Forces Network, Radio Network, all the guys and gals that are listening over there. Be safe, hurry up and get home. And we're going to leave you with, this is called Just My Way of Loving You by Mr. Ed Gary. And we appreciate everybody listening. And we'll see y'all Monday morning at 9 a.m. on the Country Roadhouse Show. After this, I'll be sending you back over to Clay in Ireland. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope everybody has a great evening. God bless everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Day for you, I breathe every breath for you. say that you're untrue, and it breaks your heart in two. I can't help these things I do. It's just my way of loving you. Try to understand my love. Look into my heart. Can't you see I'd want to die if we ever part? All my life I'm gonna love you so. There'll be times I may not show that my love for you is true. It's just my way of loving you. Understand my love. Look into my heart. Can't you see I'd want to die if we ever part? All my life I'm gonna love you so. There'll be times I may not show that my love